So let's get started. So today I'm going to explain the deduplication asset in the data quality services in Informatica Cloud version. So all you need to do is to go into the login to your account and select the data quality services, in which you will come to this page. Not in this page, you will come to this page, and here you need to select the asset you want to create. If you want to create the rule specification dictionary, there are 7 different assets. For dictionary, you can say that it's not an asset, it's just a reference table which can be used with any asset. Like rule specification, for reference table you can use dictionary. It goes with all the other assets. For deduplication we use dictionary as well. So I'll guide you. First, start with deduplication. Click on this, you will come to this page only. Here we will have 3 different tabs for deduplications: definition part, deduplication part, and consolidation part, right? So in the definition part, we are going to give the name of our deduplication asset. It should be clear that what is the task of this asset. You give it a very clear name, otherwise you will get confused while picking up in the mapping. In the description, you give the proper description why you have created this deduplication asset and where you are going to use it. So if sometimes it gets confusing, I'm telling you with my experience only, sometimes it gets confusing. So make sure that you give it a proper description, and in the location you have created multiple projects or multiple inside the projects multiple folders. So where you want to have this deduplication asset, you need to go into the browse, and here all the projects are there. Inside any of the project you can put this dictionary into. So I have created a document as well. Here it is. So this is nothing but I have copied it from the Informatica website as well itself. It's just very formal types of definitions, you can go through it, but I have written some in very common language so you can understand it well. So I'll have a little bit of theoretical part first. You can skip it. If you want to directly jump into the practical part, you can directly skip through these sections and you can go into the practical part. But I'll give you a brief idea about why we need this deduplication asset. First, it eliminates the duplicate records. As you know that in many big companies like Amazon, Flipkart, Mintra, or any big company, you know that they have customers, they have sellers, they have vendors, this type of things they have. So how they store the data? They store the data in the database, in the relational database only, like in the row and column format. So sometimes what happens, they have the duplicate records by accident, or maybe one person create the record twice. Maybe first time what happens, sometimes the internet does not respond, but at the back end, the when you creating a record or when you are trying to sign up, you fill all the details in the sign up page, and then you click on the sign up and it hangs over there. So what you think is that it is not being created. So again you go and sign up once again. But what happens is sometimes it gets created in the back end and we have no idea about it. So we create one more record for that, and that creates a problem for big companies. Like they have duplicate records, it creates troubles. We will not go into deeper into that, but we'll just skim through it. So it improves the data quality. Obviously, if you remove all the duplicate records, it means that the record which we have a golden record. Golden record is nothing but it's a single source of truth for a given entity in your data. This is the last point. I have highlighted this, you can see. Okay, it saves storage and cost. Why it saves storage? If you remove all the duplicate record, obviously the storage it needs to store the data will automatically be reduced. So it will reduce the cost as well. If the storage reduces, maintenance reduces, and the cost will come down. Enhancing reporting accuracy. uh, yes, avoids double counting in analytics and dashboards. Okay, it's a fair point. Better customer experience, avoid sending multiple mails calls to the same customer. If you have one customer registered twice, maybe they have two different sim cards and they have registered twice, and you are calling the same person two times on their both the numbers. If they have the same mobile and they have two sim cards, one time you are calling on their first sim card and again you are calling on their second sim card giving the same offer, that will be an annoying experience, and that is why the companies want to remove the duplicate tickets as well. So supports master data management. This is some high level thing. It is MDM. When you work on MDM, you will come to know flexible strategies. Can choose row based or field based consolidation depending on business needs. Once we start doing the practical, you will see that we will have two different types of row based and field based consolidations. I'll show you this. So in one line you can say that we use the deduplication asset in IICS CDQ to detect and merge duplicate records so that we always work with clean, unique and trustworthy data. Okay, you can say that. In the interview sometimes they ask, uh, if you are going for interview, why deduplication asset has three tabs. See, I'll show you. Definition part, deduplication part, and consolidation part. These are the three different assets you will have when you log into your. See, we have three different parts. So I'll explain everything one by one. So first come to the definition part. You have name, description, location, and then nothing else. So basically the metadata page, this tells the CDQ what this asset is and where it lives. It means that you are giving it a name and saving the description means what this asset is for, and you are giving the location as well where we need to store this asset. In the deduplication part, this is the main part where we configure our logic, how our deduplication asset will work, and how fast it will be or how slow it will be, the how the performance will be of our deduplication asset. This is we decide here. So what are all the points? This is the engine step where you decide how to detect duplicates. Say for example, we have two records for the same customer, John Smith. One is J Smith, one second is John Smith. So for both the records, they have the same email address, they have the same mobile numbers, they have the same address. But in the name field, in the first name and in the second last name, you can say. So in the first name we have J dot, and for the last name we have Smith. And for the second record, we have in the first name John and in the last name Smith, full name. So Informatica will have some algorithms like fuzzy logic, exact match, fuzzy match. These are all the algorithms that Informatica uses behind the scene to match if the two records are equal or not. In the fuzzy match, I'll give you what happens in real time. So in the back end, they store the data, two different customers they have stored, means Informatica have stored. And for to identify whether the two records are duplicates or not, what it will do, it will it will have a register. Register is nothing but a memory location. It will locate, it will put the first record in the memory location, and where it will have count for each letter. For John Smith, J one time, Smith S one time, M one time, I one time, T one time, H one time. And this is how it will count all the letters in the first record. And for the second record, it will count all the letters in the second record and it will try to match. And if there is some, you will decide the threshold. If some 90% of the letters are matching, it means that it is a duplicate record. You can say that in real time it is how this how it works. If you want exact match, it means that letter by letter, space, special characters, dot, all the things has to be matching. So here, in the deduplication, so we have seen match keys, field to compare, name, email, phone number, matching strategies like fuzzy match, exact match, phonetic match. These are some strategies. Clustering and basically duplicate finding brain. Okay, so clustering is nothing but it will have, see, it will give a unique cluster ID for the group of cluster. For the group of records, it will give a unique cluster ID for that records which it thinks, Informatica engine thinks that it is a duplicate record. For that, it will give a unique cluster ID, and in the cluster size, it will give you how many records, how many duplicate records the Informatica engine thinks there exist. So I'll give you a practical example for this. You'll come to know. Okay. So in the consolidation part, after after the applying all the logic, means how you want to identify that if the two records are duplicate or not. In the third part, in the consolidation part, here it is in the real time. So in the no consolidation, it will do nothing. In the row based consolidation, it will go row by row and compare the results. If the two records have that threshold percentage of letters matching, or if you have decided the exact match, like here, most field. Oh no, this is not this consolidation part. Here in the deduplication, you will decide. If you go to the custom and if you go to the advanced option, here you will decide the deduplication threshold for that two records to identify if they are duplicate records or not. Okay, so what else in the consolidation? So row based, row by row, it will go and check if the two records are exact or not, or fuzzy matching or not matching. Field based, it will go column by column. You will identify all those fields that needs to be compared in order to identify if the two records are duplicate or not. So we'll see each one by one, but let's see the document first. So consolidation, after duplicates are found, you need to merge or select the best record. It means that if you found out that these two records are duplicates, so you need to have one algorithm or something that decides which records to be survived and which records to be rejected. For John Smith, we have J. Smith, and another is John Smith, JOHN, complete name. So you might have given some predefined rule that if for two records, if it is identified as duplicate records, after that it has to be the one record which will survive is the one in which more number of letters are there, more data is there, that records to be survived. Or you can say that the latest record, if two records are there, one is means some back date, some 1 year ago the same customer was there, and today also the same customer have created the account. So you may say that the latest record will survive. Maybe in the first record his marital status was single, and in the latest record, latest account that he has created, in which his marital status changes. So for that he can create a new account, and based on that you need to identify. Row based, field based, I have already told you. So one liner summary. Definition is where, again it is going to definition part. Definition is where you create the deduplication tab. Okay. Once you get into the deduplication tab, this is the deduplication tab. Okay, so here we are live on the website, and this is our account. I have created this. So in the deduplication, same screenshot I have pasted in my notes for reference. If you want, you can come back to this in the PDF format and you can have a glance over it. So before the interviews, it can work very well. So objective, what kind of duplicates to search for duplicates person name, means you want to identify the goal of your asset. Why do you want to create this asset? In the objective, you can choose any asset. See, here we will have many objectives in which we can select one. For example, if you select contact, we'll have organization name, company name, person name. These all star marked, red star marked are the mandatory field, address part 1. Based on these columns, it will decide if the records are duplicate or not. You can have family, in which person name, address part, telephone number. Based on these three columns, it will decide the duplicate record. The objective is, you need to select the objective in order to select uh, for your data set only. You will decide what is your objective. Individual, id, date, person name. From person name you can identify if the records are duplicate or not. You have to select based on your data. Organization, you can select organization name, company name, address part, resident. So if you create based on address and person name, it will decide the duplicate records. Okay. Date local is nothing but the local date of all the records that belongs to that country or specific region. Maybe it belongs to India, maybe it belongs to USA, European Union, Europe, somewhere. For that they have their date and time standards. They can select their date zone, time zone. Optional field is nothing but it will add some extra fields according to your data set, and based on that the duplicate records, we'll see this once we go on to the practical. We will see this. Filter exact duplicates, here this field is there. If you click on this filter exact duplicates, what will happen? It will look for the same records, means the all the letters, all the special character spaces and everything needs to be the exact same, and it improves the performance as well. It does not have to apply all those backend algorithms. Simply take one record, compare it with rest all the records, identify if the records are same, exact same, put it in one cluster, count how many records such records are there, put it into the cluster size. That is how it works. So performance. So performance, you have three different types of performance: fast and least specific. So it will quickly do the comparison between all the records, and it will be pretty much fast, and the depth of the analysis will not be means very accurate. So if you want very accurate and complete analysis, you can go for slow and complete, but most of the time we go with the medium and fair result. It works very well. You can go with it. Sometimes if you go with slow and complete, it will do the analysis completely, but this result is also not very accurate. I have seen this. So this is all. And in the console, in the next part, I will show you how this consolidation works, and I'll create a practical for that as well. So do we have anything else in the advanced option? Okay. So in the practical, we will see that advanced option is nothing but this one. If you go into the deduplication, click on this custom, you will have this manual control over to identify how the data should be identified as duplicate records. You may have conservative, loose, typical, level of accuracy, level of confidence, key level, deduplication output, and the threshold. So we'll see how to create one. So in the definition, let's see, we want to create this asset to identify if the two person is same or not. So in the name I can say that deduplication underscore person identity, person deduplication, no, person identification. So here in this asset we are identifying the duplicate person records. Okay, browse this location is okay. I will save it in the profiling task itself, no problem. So in the objective we want to create, we have doing the full screen. So contact deduplication we want to do. Index key, what is this index key? So this index key is nothing. See, so I have not explained the index key. So I'll give you a brief idea about what is this index key. Based on this index key, you will identify that the records are duplicate or not. For example, if you want to identify if the two records are based on the email address, person name, how you want to identify if the two records are duplicate. We may say that we want the, if their email address is same, then they are the duplicate records. It will become a mandatory field, and this index key you are going to use it in the mapping also. If we go, when we are going to create the mapping, I'll show you how this index key matters. So it enhances the performance as well. You might have heard about indexing in the databases, right? If you have heard about that, indexing gives the, it's like a index page in the books. You have this index page in order to, if in order to know where this record exists for particular chapter. You know that this chapter exists on the page number, say for example 71 to 94. For that record you have to go to that page only, and if you give the index key email address, it will store that email address in its memory, and it will start looking for that email address only. So it will improve the performance as well. Date local we will choose, no matter is there India, no, don't think, no, 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 yes, India is there. So we'll choose the India. Optional fields, if you select optional fields, what will happen? Additional fields just pops up. We don't want these many fields to compare. This is just for demo, and I will leave all the additional fields unchecked. So field exact duplicates. So I'll show you the difference between the filter exact duplicates and what will happen if you check it and uncheck it. It's nothing but if you check it, it means that it will check for the duplicate records. You are getting it, no problem. Let's move ahead. Performance. Let's do the medium and fair result. Okay, let's save this as it. Now we are going to create, these are the mandatory fields. Okay, we will only fill the mandatory fields and leave the all the other fields. Okay, so person name. So person name may be say address. Address, what you say, freedom fighter. Okay, email address. Email address, give something, some email address. Okay, give this email address and create the second record. Okay, this may take a little. Okay, leave it here. Okay. uh, so this is how you are supposed to create some records in order to identify if they are duplicates or not. So okay, so let's test this, and for that we need to select a runtime environment. Let's test this. It takes a little while for Informatica to process the data. Why it takes a little longer? You know why? Because it takes, most of the time it takes for the connection, establishing the connection. Once the connection is established, it won't take much to process 5 or 6 records. It can, in the milliseconds it will process these many records. You'll in real time you will have maybe hundreds of thousands of data, and it will process the data in the same time. So here we have got the result. Cluster id 1 2 3. It has created the records in the three different clusters, in two different clusters, no, in three. In the one and this record, so see, and this record, it has put into 1 1 2 4, this, this, and this. Why? See, in the first means the matching of the letters. Okay, we'll try the custom ones. We'll go into the advanced option. Level of accuracy, how we want conservative is very accurate. It does not work blues typical. Let it be typical. Level of confidence, exhaustive, extreme, narrow, typical. Let it be typical. And let's change the d to, in real time you will have at least 90% of the threshold set, but here I'm setting it to 85%. And now let's save it and test our, yes, it's running. So for 85% of deduplication threshold, let's see how many cluster IDs are formed. Either it is going to 2, 3 or 4, how many clusters it is going to divide the data into. So it has divided the data into 3 clusters. Okay, so this is how you do it. If you uh, if you set the threshold to 100%, this means that it is going to check if the two records are exactly same or not. Let's see. See, for every record it has given unique ID. So there is some change in all the records. All the records are not same. If you look closely, you will see that all the records have some sorts of variations. So this is how you do the deduplication configuration. And in the consolidation, in the next video I'll show you how to create the consolidation. This video will go too long, so in the next video I'll show you. Okay.